What made you write this book?
Legacy, leaving a legacy to my children. I was 5 when my father passed. Nobody taught me anything. I'm not educated, so I learned in different roles. Because all my life I feared death because I experienced it at such a young age. But then that moment I was like, well, if this is it, okay, bring it on.
You pray to God that give me a second chance. And once you got that second chance, you start reflecting on who is Dariush Soudi.
Dariush Soudi is a powerhouse entrepreneur and business strategist who's turned decades of hard-won lessons into the Gladiator Mastery Program. From surviving life's toughest battles to building systems of real wealth, he now empowers others to rise, lead, and win.
What's your 3 top principles?
Everybody wants attention. Attention is love, right? I always sit in a particular place in a sales meeting. It makes me more powerful in the meeting.
Do you believe that someone has to be exceptionally good if he has to perform in sales?
Don't beat yourself up. We all make mistakes, but learn. Don't repeat the same mistakes, but work hard. Often when you find people who are just lacking motivation, they're too comfortable.
Someone who's starting a business new, what's the framework he should follow?
Easy. Majority of salespeople ask,
If you ever felt lost, or if you are struggling to rebuild your life, or if you are searching for a secret sauce to grow your sales 10x and transform your future, then this episode might be the way of a new path. My guest today is a man who has lived 3 lifetimes in one. A man who went from childhood scarcity in Iran to a hustling life in UK. From nearly losing his life on a treadmill in his early 40s, the man who stepped with only $700, no network, no name, and rebuilt himself to become one of the most influential and business minds in this region. He's an entrepreneur, a master of sales, a mentor for thousands, and author of a very famous book, The Modern Day Gladiator, and the founder of a mega event, Gladiator Summit. Today, we dive into the minds of the man who rose from struggle, heartbreak, death, and nearly death, and rebuilt himself as a modern-day gladiator. So let's welcome Dariush Soudi on the show. Hey, Dariush, welcome to the show.
good to be here.
Yeah, thank you. And we've been trying to catch up each other for almost maybe a couple of months now, and I know that you have a very busy schedule. So I have to first of all start this podcast by saying thank you to you.
I want to say thank you to you for reaching out and being proactive. Yeah. So it's my honor to be here.
Yeah. When I look at you, you know that the only thing that comes an image besides your face is the Gladiator combat helmet, which is, I think, your trademark. I don't know why I can't see that helmet alone without your face. Or when I look at you, I can't see that helmet. Why?
It's only because you've had my book on your table for the last year. Unfortunately, it's impregnated that in your head. But I used to be a fit gladiator. Now I'm a fat gladiator. So I need to lose weight and do some more exercise.
No, I don't think so. But when you say fitness, you know, you're very fit from inside as a gladiator. I think that there's a mind and there's a body as well, which you have actually explained in your book. I met you almost a year back when you had actually gifted this book. In that crowd, maybe you did not see me or notice me. It was in the bag. And then I said, hello, sir, how are you? And you said, hello, thank you for receiving my book. And I remember,
I don't think so,
because there were almost 3,000 people.
Yeah, there's 2,500 people there, yes.
And I still can't forget that event.
Thank you.
The Gladiator 2 Summit.
Thank you.
I think the Gladiator movement. I wanted to ask you, let me break this podcast into 3 segments. One is Dariush Soudi, the author who's actually written this book, The 12 Principles of Modern Day Gladiator. The second is the mastering the sales art. So mastering the art of sales is something that you actively coach. And the third part is the Gladiator movement, which is the Gladiator Summit. And now we are reaching to the 3rd season of it. Isn't it?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Thank you.
So the first part is that what made you write this book? Is this book about your journey? Is it about what taught you in your life path? And of course, there are ups and downs. And why do you you relate this book to a modern day gladiator?
Okay. Well, thank you. Great question. Everywhere I go around the world, people say it's your energy that attracts. It's your energy. Like that event, 2,500 people, and I was there shaking hands, and they were putting the chairs on the tables, and people notice that you're not just pretending. People notice that you really genuinely care. I was exhausted, I had blisters in my feet, hadn't slept for 48 hours, but I was still the last one out the hole. So the most important thing is the energy that you have. And I thought, you know what? I'm all about legacy, leaving a legacy to my children. And I had an experience whereby I met people, my grandfather been past 55 years. I met people who had met my grandfather, and they came to shake my hand. And I thought, why? And they said, oh, because all the help he gave us and my parents those years ago. And I thought, you know, what a way to leave a legacy, to help people. And also I noticed when I was asked to speak on stage, a lot of people gave a lot of much more respect to somebody who was an author.
Correct.
You know, we say, oh, he's a business owner, he's this, he's got these many followers, whatever, and he's an author.
Correct.
And a lot more people went, oh, he's an author. I thought, you know what better way to put it in writing? However, it took me 7 years to write this. And it's not particularly fantastic. I want it to be an autobiography. It's, you know, I call it toilet reading. So you can, on a bus or a toilet, you can just read it quickly, especially men who got no time, and then put it in few times, and then you read the book. It was sharing my life stories and my lessons and putting it in paper, and try to be there for people that I never had when I wanted someone. You know, and often entrepreneurs think, or salespeople think, that their problems is only to them.
Correct.
And when you read a book like it, he had it worse. He's been where I am. He's at this situation now, and this is what he did to get him out of this predicament. So it's working. It's working. I get the most amazing feedback, like yourself.
Yeah.
When I meet people, and they say,
And every page has been documented as one of the learnings of my life.
Thank you.
And you see every page. When I
By the
read
way,
this,
you have no idea. You saying this, look, all our emotions are. It makes all that work worthwhile. So thank you so much.
yeah,
from the bottom of my heart.
It took me 2 days to go into the depth of every word, because each word, if you see, is written with emotion. And this is where I said it looked more like a movie for me. Let me put you in, like, maybe in just 5 seconds, 5 minutes, I'll say this movie. It's like Dariush Soudi, who's in his early 40s, who's on a treadmill, and you've clearly defined it. There's an elephant on your chest, and you're going out blackout. You rush to home. When you go home, you actually call your ex-wife because you want to speak to the kids. But somewhere she realizes that this is something beyond the concern, and she says, rush to the hospital. You rush to the hospital, you find out there's a problem, and you go straight away. Before you just entering the theater, you actually touch the head of your kid, and not because you fear, because you're getting into the theater. It's just because you fear that you would not able to see them again. And you pray to God that give me a second chance. And that second chance you get. And once you got that second chance, you start reflecting on who is Dariush Soudi. Where did he come? Now you zoom out and you straight go to Iran. 12 years, and at the age of 12 years, a 29 years father who's just dead, mother is 23, sister with him, Dariush Soudi, 12 years, is hustling for bread and butter.
I was 5.
Okay.
I was 4 when my father passed.
When the father passed.
Yeah, and then we left Iran at 12.
At 12.
To go to the UK.
To UK.
Indeed. And then we were there 30 odd very long years.
Correct. And then I seen and then you've written about how you were hustling in your initial time. You were just shifting in jobs.
Yes.
Till you finally got the breakthrough.
Yes. Nobody taught me anything. I'm not educated. So I learned in different roles. But one thing I wasn't ashamed of is moving. Now the new generation, they're happy changing jobs left, right, and center. Correct. When I was in jobs, it was like you were proud to be in one company.
Correct.
20 years. Well, I was like, they don't have the same value. I didn't get it at the time. Why? But I was like, well, I'm not enjoying myself here. I'm not learning enough. They're not polite. They're not respectful. So I just kept moving, or I got fired, right? So I wasn't performing. But I always thought, what have I learned? What have I learned? What have I learned? I'm always learning.
So for me, I'll tell you, whenever I joined a corporate life, Darush, I'll be very honest that I always gave a 4 to 5 years window that I'll not leave this company. So I'll be very cautious before joining them. Once I join them, I know that I will grow with them and I have to leave a stamp, a footprint saying that what I achieved there and how they valued me. And this was my objective. So every company that I worked was around, I worked about 4 employments in the past, and it was before starting my venture, and an average of 4 to 5 years. I should not quit before that for any reason, because I know that these circumstances would change, and because of that they have hired me. And for me also, it's like as if going to a university, learning the system around that university, and then giving them back by way of building that company.
Sure. Well, from my opinion, it's a good and a bad. Because if you go into a relationship, you say, I'm going to be there 4 or 5 years. What if it's rubbish?
Yeah.
Right? Then you committed, but you're unhappy for 4 or 5 years.
Correct.
Who guarantees there's going to be a tomorrow?
Correct.
Right? And if I was your boss and I had this overperformer, overachiever, I would hate you to leave after 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I would do everything I can for you to stay. So what I say to people, don't judge anything. Just go with the flow like water. Just go with the flow and see how it goes. But be very clear with your boundaries. Be very clear with your values. And if people don't match it, share your feedback. If they don't change, move.
Did you see that your story was literally printed in my head?
Shocked.
And you see,
love it. Thank you.
And you closed down your UK business and you moved with $700 to Dubai.
Yeah. I didn't close it by choice. I was attacked at home.
Yeah.
And I was a single father at the time. My ex-wife lived in Dubai. So that evening, I feared for my children's life. So I sent them to Dubai, which led to me getting stressed and having a heart attack. And while I was on the hospital bed, I was crying, and I wasn't crying because it was really strange, because all my life I feared death because I experienced it at such a young age. But then that moment I was like, well, if this is it, okay, bring it on. But where are my kids? And that's why I was crying. I was thinking, I don't want to die alone.
So you sent them to Dubai?
Before, yes.
Yeah. So the first time you got an attack, you recovered, and then someone the Bulgari guys attacked you at your home? And
No. What happened was I was perfectly healthy, fine. I got attacked at home. My kids were in the house. I got rid of them. They got arrested. And then that night, I sent the kids to Dubai.
Correct.
Because I didn't know who these attackers knew they could come back.
Correct.
And then a few weeks later, I had a heart attack, my first one.
And then you drive to Spain, and then when you drive to Spain, I remember the story of the 80,000 euros cigarette pack.
Yeah. So would you like me to share it with the audience? Okay.
Please.
So what happened was that night, I dropped the kids. I was like in shock, packed the car, drove all the way to Spain, went through France, Spain, sat there, and it was weekend, and I thought, you know what? I had a partner at the time. I don't smoke, but her father smokes. So I went across the border to obviously, what's it called? The south of Spain, anyway, Gibraltar. And there's no tax there. So I thought, I'll take the car across. It was a 4 or 5 litre car, put some petrol in it. And while I was there, I'll buy him a pack of cigarettes as a gift. As I was going by, I showed it to border police, and they went, oh, come over. I said, I just only got 2. You're allowed 1. I said, well, here you are. Keep it. I'll go. So no, €500 fine. And you have to go to this city to pay the fine. I said, are you kidding me? And do you have your documents for the car? I said, no, because I just drove from England to here.
Correct.
We're going to put your car in compound until you get the documents and pay the fine. So I had 2 cars in Spain. So I took a taxi home, got the other car. It was weekend. I couldn't go. 3 days later, I flew my secretary from England with the documents of the car, went, with the fine payment and the documents, and I gave it to the Spanish police. And they said, oh, I'm sorry, we got some bad news. Our dog could smell some drugs in your car, so we ripped it apart.
Oh, my God.
So I looked at it across the yard. The petrol tank had been taken out, all the seats ripped with knives. It was just a nightmare. And they said, it's yours, take it away. I said, you can't give me, it's like, it was an Audi Q7.
Yeah.
Brand new. I say, you can't do this to me. So sue us, really cocky. And I
Just
called
one small cigarette packet buying it cost you
And then
this amount.
I picked up the car, spoke to my lawyers, took the car back to the garage, and the garage came back and said, you're not covered by insurance because in your Spanish terms and conditions or whatever insurance says, if police damage your car, you're not covered.
These are the hidden clauses.
Yeah.
And we
So
don't actually, we
I
oversee these terms.
I just left the car. I just left it.
This is one of the saddest story, and I see it. And then you related that to your first principle, authenticity.
Yeah.
How did you relate that?
Do you know what it was? It's hard to say. I think if I knew the attackers. I was doing business with them and they want to steal from me, basically. If I see them, I like to give them a good kick. I like to punch the shit out of them, right? But it was the best thing that happened to me. What really, really upset me, because nobody has the right to burst into your house with your children in it.
Correct.
I was just lucky that my kids didn't hear it. They were on the other side of the door playing games and on their music. If they opened the door and saw their dad a knife to his neck, that could have changed them forever.
100%.
And I can't forgive them for that. And I hope my path crosses their path, because
Yeah, then somewhere you got them
once
arrested
my
the
joints
next
are working, I like to...
time. Then you got them arrested.
Yeah, but this is another thing that really upset me with England, was that they only got 6 months house arrest. They didn't even go to jail. I went to court back and forth, and the police negotiated the plea with him. So he didn't even get to judgment day. The police said, okay, we let him off, 6 months house arrest. So they got tags on their ankles, and after 6 o'clock, they were at home watching TV.
See?
And whilst I was here trying to build my life, they set up websites against me, saying that he's got 10 kids, he's got 5 wives, he's got Interpol after him, he's a pedophile, he did. And it would hurt me, because I came here, I lost everything. I came here, I'll do business with someone, and they do a Google search, and they find rubbish about me. And there's a saying that, there's so much out there, one of it must be true.
Correct.
Right? So it was hurting me, really, and they were stalking me on the internet. Obviously, they're sitting at home.
This damaged your reputation to your new client.
Damaged my cash flow, not my reputation. Because once somebody does business with me, that's all.
Correct.
They know.
But you've written that you were losing business. There were clients who were pulling back the contracts.
Business. Correct. So they say, I'll see you tomorrow, I'll see you Monday. They're calling me, say, don't bother coming. And they wouldn't tell me.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're judging someone what they've read. There was one particular case hurts in Dubai. I was in a networking event, BNI.
Okay.
Have you heard of BNI?
Yeah, I have heard of BNI.
And there was a lady who worked for a bank, Standard Charter. And there were some financial advisors, independent financial advisors. And as people were going around, she introduced herself, and these financial advisors attacked her. And not physically, but verbally, made it look silly. That nobody wants to invest with the bank, blah, blah, blah. And she didn't know how to reply. Now, if you imagine, I came to Dubai with $700. I had about maybe $100 left in my pocket, and I heard her being bullied. So I phoned her up and said, let me coach you for free, okay, how to manage to overcome these challenges if this happens again. So we met in Starbucks in Emirates Towers.
Okay.
She ordered coffee, and I paid.
Okay.
Right? I'm helping her, and I pay.
And actually, you have $100 only left.
Yeah. I always pay, even if I don't have any money. I always pay. And apart from once, and I'll tell you that story as well. And then I was with her for 2 hours, okay? So I'm helping her, and she goes, do I owe you anything? I said, no. She goes, oh, you changed my life. Thank you so much. So she went. I didn't ask for nothing. I even paid the bill. Next thing I knew, the head of BNI is phoning my friends saying this woman has sent these website links to everyone, every BNI member.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't believe it.
For someone who you were helping,
Yes.
now backstabbing you.
Yes. I couldn't believe it. I phoned her up. She wouldn't pick up the phone. But you know how, when you're down, how people kick you, right? Now, everybody wants to be my friend. Everybody will speak on my stage. It's so easy to judge people what the wealth they have and not the principles and the values.
Yeah.
If I come across, I wouldn't even remember, but there was lots of these incidents.
Yeah, but if you see from this small incident where people created this entire military of online damaging your career or reputation, what you did, you jumped into it and you created a new company called Reputation Management.
Correct. You know that, yeah. And then it became our most profitable side of our business because I became some kind of an expert on the internet and how to get rid of bad news or wrong news or damaging news. So, yeah, but it was painful. It was painful. Which
How you used to find this, this light in every dark tunnel?
I don't think first of all, I looked at other people's lives in Dubai.
Okay.
And I lived on the Palm, in a maid's room in the
Correct.
Palm. But then I looked at their lives. I'm like, God, these guys, look at their apartments that they have. Their kids are going to these schools. And so it's possible, right? So I've just had a knockback. So that seeing other peer group doing well kept it going. But at the time when you got nothing, living in a maid's room, having a Ferrari wasn't on my mind. It was paying school fees, bringing food on the table, paying rent. It's all steps and levels. And then you get to a stage where you got enough money to last you a lifetime, generational wealth. So, but you just got to keep going.
Yeah, your second principle, that's motivation, I think, yeah?
Yeah.
That's where you said that you
motivation
came
comes from
this maid's room.
Yeah,
And
motivation is from within.
So what pushed you to build this vision board everywhere across your room?
Well, because what I was seeing was just shit. Yes, I was seeing everything falling apart. I couldn't go, I'm rich, manifestation. I'm rich. And then your eyes and your subconscious mind saying you're an idiot because you're living in a maid's room, you got no money. So I had to visualize what life was going to be in 6 months. And then I visualized the car, the house, the sun in my face, the wind in my face, and it came true.
Yeah.
I visualized how happy my children were because they were going to go to school again. I visualized what car I was going to drive. I visualized the place I was going to live.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you actually, while living in that maid's room, you made a small vision board for yourself saying that, and you put it everywhere, the stickers.
not just had one vision board, but I had cards, postcards, that it had my 6-month goal. And I worked backwards saying, what do I have to do every single day to achieve those goals? I used to live on 10,000 dirhams a month. I had a client. It was a German dental clinic. And he was my only client. He's the one who had faith and trust in me. And he stayed with me for like 6 years. And I used to take a picture of the 10,000 dirhams and send it to my son. And he, at the age of 13 and 14, between breaks, used to call for me.
Yeah.
And make sure that I was busy.
That too in hotel lobbies.
Yeah. My office was a hotel lobby. When I first tried to recruit my first member of staff, they were like, why? Don't you have an office? I said, no, I was still doing visa runs, right? And I said no, and people were like, I want to work for you because it sounds like a dodgy business. Okay. Again, now we have beautiful offices there. Everybody wants to work for us.
Yeah. But no, one thing I've seen that if you see the tiers of goal that you put also was very pragmatic. If you see when you were living in the maid's room, what you put over there, you put the first goal as I want to move out of this maid's room and get a better apartment. The second is maybe I just want to have a better car. I want to just right now lease a 2-bedroom so that my children could come and meet me. Third is maybe I would want a maximum of 30,000 earning. Yeah, that would give me good food to eat. And lastly, maybe I want a membership in a capital club. I think these were about 4 or 5 goals. You had actually put them in your first year of achievement.
Yes.
And once they achieved
everyone but one.
Yeah.
But I achieved. And also, I think, there was another one. Every 6 months, I set a new goal.
Yeah, you wanted an SUV also. Yeah, that
it was a
one.
Ferrari.
Okay.
I wanted a Ferrari 456 with a black roof. And I achieved all my goals apart from the Ferrari. And a company contacted me on LinkedIn saying, we're a car club. Can we come and see you? And at that time, I was earning more money. And then they came and said, look, for 11,000 dirhams a month, you can have any of these cars for 3 days a month. So I opened, there was a white 456 with a Ferrari, with a black roof. So I said, okay, I'll join. 3-4 months went by. I drove this car 1 or 2 days a month. But it didn't feel like it was mine. It feel like I was cheating. So the guy comes to me after 4 months, say, hey, Dariush, I'm closing the club. But this time I formed some kind of a friendship with this guy. So why? He goes, well, because everybody's got Ferraris and they don't want to have this club. In London, it works. I said, what are you going to do with a white Ferrari with a black roof? He goes, oh, I'll sell it. I said, well, do you trust me? He said, yes. I said, well, give me the car. Because when are you going to pay me? It was like 1.1 million. I said, I don't know, but I promise I'll pay you within so many months. And he gave me the keys.
Wow.
And I paid him over 6 months. And I had a white Ferrari with a black roof, which was exactly on my vision board.
If you see, most of those principles that you have written are all quality principles.
They're
Quality
real.
that one needs to have within himself.
Yes.
The first is when you said authenticity, and second is motivation. Third is, I think, I can't recollect it, but if you see, most of them are resilience is there. There's self-discipline. There is self-growth. Most of them are within yourself.
Everything's within yourself.
What's your 3 top principles? If you say, I know the 12 are important, but what's 3 top principles that you say that
I think
are
it's
very
gonna-
close to your
It's
heart?
gone a bit more spiritual, I think. Above all, more than anything else, is love.
Is love, yeah.
Love. The guy who smokes a cigar and drives the Lamborghinis, the lady who wears boob tubes and flashes the cleavage, and they want followers, they ultimately want love. Or if you break it down, everybody wants attention. Attention is love, right? So that's one. I like to think that anybody who crosses my path, my kids, my wife, everything, their cup's full of love. So they don't have to go into relationships to fill their cup. So try to...
But what kept you motivated? Because at that time
Me,
you did not have
my
love
kids.
apart from your kids.
My kids not going
You
to
had no
school.
business. You had
Nothing,
$700
nothing.
and you were struggling here and there.
My friend, I'm dyslexic.
Yeah.
I had 250 cards printed and I spelled my name wrong in the card.
What are you saying?
So and I couldn't afford to have cards printed again because I didn't check properly, because I'm dyslexic. So I thought, what am I going to do? This is embarrassing. So what I used to say to people, attention is really important in business. Here's my card. Try to spot the mistake. I always used triggers not to make myself look stupid, but I felt stupid. So act as if, right? So I just spot the mistake and made it a laughing point rather than a weakness. But the whole idea was that failure is in my equation, right? And
Every time life put you down, you somehow
life is challenging. Life is, you're on this planet once, okay? Are you just going to quit? Are you just going to give up? Are you going to live up to other people's limitations? Or are you going to just do the best you can? And I remember from a young age, I thought when that day comes and I look back, I just want to go, wow, I did everything.
And in your field, if you see, when you started, if you see your initial career was sales to a health club, right? In
That was my
Manchester,
first big business.
Yeah.
Yes.
From there, you came to UK, and when you said that you're a business consultant or a sales coach, what was the first job that you picked up?
First client I picked up.
Your first
was
client.
in the-
How
was
did
in
you
the-
go and position yourself?
Well, I just knocked on the door and said, hey, listen, I really believe I can increase your business by 20 to 30% and pay me the difference. And they were, maybe no, maybe yes. I said, let's just sit down. I'll show you.
So you used to call business owners?
Yeah, walk in cold. And this is interesting. What you realize is that in most businesses, the leaders have the same frustrations. Okay? Like, for instance, in a clinic or a salon or a dental clinic, whatever it is, the owner comes in and he hears his staff on the phone and he goes, oh, God, they're not very good. And he sits in his office upstairs, the plastic surgeon, for instance, and he doesn't see anyone, maybe one client a day. And then when he sits in front of that client, he closes them, does the deal. But somehow he knows that the receptionists aren't qualifying people properly. So Dariush comes along and says, Mr. Jones, do you feel frustrated with your reception? Do you feel that? I used to have a business for 17 years in England. We'll fix these problems. Allow me the opportunity to train your team and then pay me a percentage of the increase in your business. And it worked.
And it worked, yeah.
It worked.
So
Some people
initially,
didn't pay and I walked. I just next. My favorite word in business is next. Well, I didn't sit there crying. I just didn't have time to cry.
Can you share me the first story about the relocation business? The one which you came in the Yaris and the relocation company hired you for your first contract.
Oh, yeah. The first deal.
Where
I
you
got.
said
Yeah.
30%
Very
of the
good,
sales
very
I'm
good.
going to increase.
Yeah. I had a Yaris and I think it was 1,250 dirhams a month. and I hadn't had enough money to pay the
It was the
petrol.
20th.
It was
Yeah.
like
You had
it was
30
on the
days
yellow
cash.
thing. Yes,
And it was 20
I
days.
had no money. Yeah, I put a dodgy credit card, and it was maxed. It was one of those manual machines, and with a couple of days left, it was going to bounce the money. So I had to get them the cash for the car. So it was really not legally done properly, but And I had one client left. It was Monday morning. It was a relocation company, and I sent them the proposal, and I had a meeting at 9 o'clock to meet this guy. And on the way there, I was like, oh my God, I heard in Dubai, if you bounce a check, you go to jail, What I've done is wrong. And it was true at the time. And through my head, I went all the possibilities that this meeting could go wrong. One of them was like, he said, I didn't have time to read your proposal. So I had a copy of the proposal with me.
Okay.
He said, you're too expensive. Right. What would I say if it's too expensive? So I went through everything, parked the car, went upstairs. It's a long story, I'll cut it short. And I always sit in a particular place in a sales meeting. And I saw him coming, and he was like, hi, to the receptionist.
What's the reason you sit in a particular place?
Because you need to be in control of the sales process.
Okay.
All the time. And
this was consciously done?
Consciously done.
Okay.
I want people to read the book or come to my courses. But it's a particular reason I sit in a certain place.
Okay.
And it makes me more powerful in a meeting.
Okay.
So I seen this guy coming towards me, and the receptionist says, oh, is Mr. Dariush waiting for you? When like, oh, shit, I forgot about this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as he was walking towards me, I kind of could read his mind thinking, how am I going to get rid of this guy? Because I haven't even looked at his proposal. So he sat down and started making excuses, saying like, it's been a weekend with the kids, I didn't have a chance to read. So don't worry, I'll pull out the proposal, put it here. And the guy got it out, and he started reading the proposal like this, I swear. And as he was reading, my heart was coming out of my mouth, yes? And I could read his mind thinking, how can I get rid of this guy? So I just thought, I need to close this deal, otherwise jail time. So I just went, it's a deal then. And look, that's exactly what he did. He shook my hand.
He just shook your hand?
He shook my hand. Everybody shakes your hand. It's a deal then, see?
Yeah.
Everybody shakes your hand. So I just thought, look, even remembering now puts the hair on. And I thought, okay, he shook my hand. I need to get the money. So I said, for me to start tomorrow morning, you need to go and get your checkbook and pay me today because I don't give credit, and I'll start at 7:30 tomorrow morning. And he just got up, went and got his checkbook. And I was like, oh shit, I don't even have a bank account. Like, what do? I didn't visualize it this far. So I said, write a cash check. He wrote me a 7,500 dirham check. Now I charge $10,000 an hour, and I'm fully booked. And I was a lot more energy then than I have now. I was 44 at the time. And he gave me a cash check.
Where did the confidence come from?
Desperation.
So
I got the check, and I thought, fuck, let's leave. So I said, thank you so much. I'll be here at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I went round and got to the lift, and he chased me. And as the lift door was closing, it was like, he had no idea what had happened to him. The door closed.
Technically, like,
and he was like,
his mind.
Like, yeah, what the hell have I just done? And the door closed, and I went into the car, and I cried. I cried, and I cried, and I opened the door, and I was sick on the floor because I just don't know what had happened to me.
Was that your first earning in Dubai?
It was the first one, yeah. And I went next morning, I turned his business around, made loads of money for him. But it was a very unsexy business, logistics just so. And he had 100 staff, none of them spoke English. He was very tough trained. So as the business got going, I said thank you, and I moved on.
Okay. So what changes did you do there? Because I'm sure that it must be...
Sure. It was impossible to train his staff because they didn't speak English, right?
Okay.
And it was impossible to train his staff because he already decided it wasn't going to work. He thought the more salespeople I hire, the more doors they knock, eventually 2% will buy. So 1,000 people is 20, 100 people is 2, So it was just a numbers game to him. So I thought, well, I can't work with him. He's a mental case. He's already given up mentally. I can't work with his team because they don't speak English. Half the time they couldn't even find the location, right?
Okay.
And they're a location company, right?
Okay.
So that's not a good start. So what I did was in the quotes, I was thinking about this all the time. When they sent the quote to the client, I studied a United Nations article where he said there's 10,000 20-foot containers lost off ships every year. But 80% of them don't sink. So they hit other ships, right? So they put GPS systems on the 20-foot containers to make sure the ships can see them coming, right? And oceaneers found out that they can monitor the movement of water around the world by monitoring the movement of these 20-foot containers.
Oh.
That's it. I wrote that down on the quote, and I put down research by United Nations, and the sales went up 30%.
Just by creating a difference in how you propose to
You're
client.
adding value. Because what happens is they got 4 quotes. The owner of the company thinks they don't care. They're just not going on price. But 99% of the time, the client price is not an issue. We believe it is, right? So what happened was they looked at these prices. Maybe they were competitive, maybe they were not. But they wrote that caption, but subconsciously they thought, you know what? These guys know something about the industry. These guys know so. There may be 100 dirhams more, but I'll go ahead with them. Still 70% didn't.
So it was more psychological.
It's also everything's psychological. So even then, most people didn't go ahead.
And how long you continued with that company after that?
3 months, 4
3 months. And then you...
Because once you've given them that, the funny thing is they probably never, after I left, ever practiced it because everything's habitual. They probably fell back into what they've always done.
Okay. So you couldn't change any systems of theirs or change their
I could
habits?
change while I was there.
While you were...
As a consultant, I deliver. But it takes a lot of energy to keep pushing them. You need them to embrace, right? And what I find is that the richer the client, the more open they are to change. The poorer the client, they fight for the position. They fight for the position.
Were you not able to create any gladiator within that team?
No, because
Someone like you who could stay there and yet build that? Because I'm sure that...
Yeah, rarely I've met people who can do that. So what happens is, I'll give you an example. 99% of the time when I go into a company, the owner loves me.
Okay.
The right-hand person hates me. So it could be his wife, it could be anyone. They hate me. You know why? Why?
Because they were going to change their habits.
Correct. Because they feel insecure. They think, oh my God, I would look silly if he brings change. Because I've been lazy, I've been this. He'll highlight my inadequacies. Right? So they fight. And after a while, when you're in my position now, you just think, I don't need to fight. Good luck.
Yeah. And that's your biggest strength, which is valuing time. Because what I've seen in you is your biggest strength, which I feel... I met a lot of entrepreneurs, I met a lot of business coaches, business leaders. But I find you very exceptional because you value a lot of time. Like today also in the podcast, you were early. And that's pushed me that I should be 20 minutes early.
Thank you. It's important. It's important.
And you've given so much of emphasis in the book as well, that value your time, because that's very limited. You will not be able to get it back.
Yes.
And also at the end of the book, you gave the story of the graveyard. Yeah. Where you mentioned that if you live for 70 years also, if you calculate the happy moments, it will be 3 or 4 years. And that's how people use...
Maybe not even that.
Not even that.
Not even that. When you have nothing... I heard somebody say that it was Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, and he said he's met rich people who are happy. He's met rich people who are miserable. He's met poor people who are miserable, but he's never met a poor person who's happy.
It's
Interesting,
a nice one.
Right?
Yeah.
So you were asking me about, I said love is the first. The other two, I think when you stop caring about authenticity, when you stop caring about what other people think. Because most people's regrets before they die is that they live somebody else's dream, somebody else's
If you see me,
limitations.
this was one of the top principles for me. The first one, authenticity. That you say, don't bother about how people will judge you. You just position yourself the way you are.
Yes. Be proud of who you are.
Be proud of who you are. And I think those things, most of the people actually carry a very pretentious life when I meet people. And if you are able to showcase what exactly you are, at least from there, you can now climb where you want to go.
I just come back from California. Not going to mention names. The guy who was running it exaggerated everything. Okay? He was very kind to me, very honorable gentleman. I've got nothing negative, but I just observed. There was like 500 people. He would say there's 1,500 people in the room.
Oh.
His book hadn't been launched, and he goes, it's an international bestseller. He hasn't even launched yet, you know? So to me, that's not genuine. That's not being real. Yes. Here's the thing. I was told, I spoke for 30 minutes and they said, go to the back, backstage. You don't need to meet people. You come all the way from Dubai, blah, 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 blah. And I decided to sit in the bar restaurant area and I met 50 people, 60 people a day.
Oh.
And I was exhausted. But here's the thing, my social media, you notice, gone mad, right?
Correct.
Because everybody said, I want to do business with Dariush because he was authentic and caring.
That you actually, when anyone meets you, they can actually see that.
Thank you.
They can see that you're very authentic.
Yeah.
And you don't care about anything. Especially
I care about negativity. I don't want drain. I don't people bitching. Before I used to get angry. Now I just walk away. Just walk. And it's a very lonely, being an entrepreneur is a very lonely place. Even being positive is a lonely place because most people are not positive. Because by nature, human beings are scared of the future. Scared they're going to get attacked. Scared that somebody's going to pinch their food. Scared the winter's coming. So thinking about abundance is actually a very rare thing. You're scaring me now, opening my book. I can't.
No, I'm just reading. That's because now I was coming to the point that you compared these 12 principles to a modern day gladiator.
Yes.
And these principles were all those quality principles that one had to have, those quality characters in order to fight the business arena today. And these principles were live authentic life, stay motivated, exercise self-discipline, hard work, develop yourself, believe in yourself, show respect to others, show gratitude, have faith, but practice philanthropy, learn resilience, and leave a legacy. I mean, how do you relate this to a modern day gladiator in a very short?
When people think of gladiators, they didn't realize they were fruitarians. They're actually vegetarians. They didn't eat meat, gladiators. Although they tried to compete in the arena, they were actually supportive of each other. They didn't particularly want to kill each other. They want to entertain the crowd. The average age of a death of a gladiator, how old do you think that was? How old do you think the average age of a death of a gladiator? 23. 23. And if you're actually fought well and entertained, the crowd won't want you to be killed. They go like this. So you have to recover from your injuries and fight again. You couldn't pretend you were dead because there was a person with a hammer at the exit and they'll smash your head.
Oh my God.
It was fight to death. So most gladiators were born poor, slaves, and they were sex mates.
Or they were
sex
convicted
gods.
criminals.
Yeah, they were slaves and prisoners and corrected. But they were sex gods. So, for instance, women will pay to sleep with them the night before. They will collect their sweat as aphrodisiacs.
Oh my God.
They were celebrated. They practiced meditation. Right? They were very honorable and spiritual people. But somewhere along the way, we just think of them as killers, right? Bring the clock back forward 2,000 years. We're still gladiators, but we've gone soft.
Correct.
We sit on our couches at home with the remote control, eating chips that gets delivered to our place. We don't have to go hunting anymore. Didn't do anything. It's been proven that our handshakes has weakened like 5 times because we're not of strength and principles, and we pretend and we follow people. We're inspired by likes rather than principles. So I want to bring that old gladiator mentality into the new world. Okay, most women leave their men in relationships because they end up wearing the trousers. They end up being the masculine in their relationship. And it's not actually 75% of my followers are women because they are trying to do better in a man's world.
Correct.
You see?
Because somewhere they're trying to wear that helmet of gladiator.
Yeah, because the men aren't anymore, and of course there's women. In those days, there were women gladiators.
Correct.
Okay, so it wasn't just men. So it's not a sexist thing. It's just that you can either life happens to you or you make life happen.
No, but I like the comparison that you did, that gladiators used to get up every day. They were very strong in mind and body.
Discipline, they practice, they
They
rehearse
practice,
every
yeah,
day.
they practice all styles of fighting, forward, backward, sidewards. And they kept themselves sharp as they were motivated every day, as
Why-
if they
why
were
do you
going
think-
to a business arena.
Why do you
to,
think?
to a Colosseum every day.
Why?
Because the only way they could actually save and come back alive.
Because it was life and death.
Yes.
Now, salespeople go to a meeting. Well, I lose it, I lose it, I win it,
Yeah.
I leave it, and the prospect says, "Oh, thanks. Leave the proposal. I'll call you." Okay, no problem. They walk out.
And of course, I feel that these 12 principles apply to a modern day entrepreneur. How he has to practice before he walks to that business arena.
Correct. Prepared.
Prepared every
Hungry.
day, making sure that his skills are at the top.
Yeah. Hungry, discipline, desire, all those things. Thank God we're not getting killed. Yes. But I want to kill the business deal, right? I want to do better. I want to get rich. I love money. Money is energy. But most people, poor people, think rich people are bad people, right?
So I think, guys, if you want to learn about Dariush's story, and it's not only about story, it's all about the principles that actually made him who he is today. It's all about those learnings, those small events that happen in his down. It not only threw him down, but he had to get up by himself, thinking there's nothing on his head, and yet he got up and he started building new fortunes for himself. I think that was the biggest learning which I took from this book. And it was from those learnings that these principles of good character has to be built. And once you build that, you actually are completely armored as a gladiator, especially with your character. And I think that will stop people to enter your life.
Thank you.
Just unnecessary people. People who can come and waste your time, people who don't value you, people who don't value your time, your effort, your energy. And I think that is something which I take learning from this book.
Thank you, brother. I hope that every time somebody picks the book up, they learn something that resonates in their lives.
Yeah.
So if you learn one thing, I'm satisfied. If you learn more than one, it's amazing.
Yeah, of course. Like in today's world, we will not find those Colosseum where we have to go and battle physically.
Correct.
But we will find those business arenas where we have to go and perform as an entrepreneur. We have to be top of the skills. People have to be motivated with us. People have to see us as one who can actually entertain and basically go and achieve, and so that you can one day from a slave become a financially free person.
Absolutely.
Does
Perfect.
it make sense?
You're hired.
Yeah. Let's go to the second part. I mean, it's mastering the art of sales.
Okay. Done.
And this is something which you have mastered. This is something which is very close to your heart. How do you influence people?
Very simple, actually.
Apart from your aura, or apart from
it's
your...
very, very simple.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, 99% of the salespeople out there, they talk too much. Okay? First thing, salespeople have childlike enthusiasm about the person in front of them. So believe me, every business I sit in front of, I heard it 1,000 times. But I don't go, or interrupt and tell you about my products or services. I'm actually really interested, because as a salesperson, you need to fulfill a pain, right? How can you don't go to a doctor, say a headache, and it goes, there you are, 20 pills. They ask a few more questions, right? So I find that most salespeople don't have enthusiasm to fix a problem. They don't care. And that comes across. Once you care and your prospect feels you like them, they like you, and they trust you, they will find ways to do business with you. So most of my prospects don't even really know what I do, but they go, I trust him, so here's a check, and I know he'll deliver.
I think that's the energy that you trade.
Yeah, because it's honest. I go into meetings and my salespeople got laptop out and going through terms and conditions. I never go through any terms and conditions. And if there's a problem, here's your money back and we move on.
Do you believe that someone has to be exceptionally good if he has to perform in sales? Because I think that's the primary function of any business, right?
They have to work hard. They have to work hard and learn and improve every time. Don't beat yourself up. We all make mistakes, but learn. Don't repeat the same mistakes, but work hard. I was always the hardest worker in the business. I woke up before anybody else. I was married with 2 young kids, 28, 29. And I used to leave home at 3 in the morning. I lived in Manchester to be in an appointment 9 o'clock in London. You know, I had a supporting wife who didn't mind me leaving at 3 a.m., but that's what you do. I put the radio on, listen to music, get myself motivated, turn up at the appointment 9 o'clock. And I made sure when I was in London, I had 5 appointments.
Yeah.
And many people go one appointment and then go back home again. You know,
But there is someone who's starting a business new, who does not have a sales coach like you or cannot afford someone like him. What's the framework he should, follow?
Easy. Peter, hi. Nice to meet you. I have 0 sales experience. I am actually young. I've got 0 work experience. But for dealing with me, what you're going to get is unbelievable energy. Okay. There'll be nobody who will care for your business like I do. I will learn along the way, and I'll make sure you always get more value than whatever you pay me. So in substitute of experience, you're going to get youth and energy. I just want an opportunity to do business with you. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that would be okay.
So turn what you see a weakness as your strength.
So what you believe is that someone who does not have energy is not even worth a sales team member.
Well, everything's energy, right? Our water molecules or atoms, everything is space and energy, right? They're held together by energy. If you break it down, we're only space, right? Held together by some kind of an energy. Money is energy. That piece of paper is an IO. It's energy.
But
right?
Sometimes we fall down of energy. We have our own lows at times. Hey, we are not motivated.
Be at home.
How do I manage?
Don't go knocking on the door when you're not motivated.
Okay.
Get your shit sorted out. Get yourself aligned. Get your desire. Get your hunger. Stop being comfortable. Okay, and when you're ready, go to the arena. But a lot of people, they go like this and they're not in a good mood and they go to an appointment and then they burn a really good prospect. Okay, and they're burning prospects out on the field. Okay, so get motivated. I'd rather never go out, stay in bed. Okay, but then when you go out, you better be motivated.
I read one of your article where you mentioned that, Peter, in that article you've mentioned that salesman should ask multiple questions before he goes and pitches his product. Can you just elaborate this?
Should never pitch. So what happens is, on average, majority of salespeople ask 2 questions before they pitch the product. I ask minimum 15 to 20.
And what type of questions will be there?
What made you start this business? Yes. What was your motivation? How many ups and downs you had? Share it with me. Yes. If you could have a really good experience with a consultant, what would that be? Share with me any negative experiences. What are your thoughts about having a consultant? Yes. What are your major... And then when you earn their respect, you can ask more detailed questions like, tell me about your headaches. How much is that costing you? What brought that about? Yes. Tell me about the times you've burnt yourself and what lessons you learned from it. And then when you answer those questions, when you ask those questions, you have the answers, you go, well, just repeat them and say, I can assure you, I will never repeat those mistakes. Do. And you don't even have to pitch.
And do you have a template before recruiting such people?
No. I just get them to do loads of role plays. So everything is about role plays, practice before you go in.
Suppose I apply myself for a job as a sales guy. What will be your evaluation technique?
Are you actually enthusiastic? Are you motivated? Yeah. What motivates you? Because if you're not motivated, you're not going to want to learn. So what motivates you? Because you have children, you want to provide food for your family. If it's partying and clubbing, you're not going to be motivated.
So you mean to say a commitment, which I have?
Absolutely.
So I should have somewhere an inherent commitment with me.
Committed to success, committed to providing something greater than just yourself.
So the job becomes very serious for me.
If I have to motivate someone, then they're the wrong person. They have to be self-motivated.
Do you value relationships in sales? Salesmen should go and create relationships.
It's a question. I was talking to someone this morning, and then she said, I have a great relationship with my customers. We go out for dinner all the time. That's the kind of relationship you should have. Because when you become friends with your customers, friends don't want to pay friends. Right? So stay friendly, but always professional, and don't get too friendly. Because then you think, I've spent such a long time with this guy or girl and he's not spending any money with me. Because they see you as a friend, right? Not as a business colleague. So they got to like you, but then keep that distance.
I always, there was a book which I read. It's called Surrounded by Idiots.
Yeah.
It was by, I think, Thomas Erickson. And he mentioned that
And it got surrounded by psychopaths and
he explains beautifully. I mean, the book is explaining beautifully that we are not able to create relationships. So Darush comes and meets Peter, and Peter is explaining him what he has to explain. Darush comes and sees what Peter can give, and Darush walks back, and Darush says, he's just wasted my time. Peter walks back and says, he's wasted my time. And for both of them, both look idiot. And both were actually right. But the real sense was they did not speak in the same language. So we did not understand each other. Was it something like this? Relationship, when I say relationship.
If, for instance, I'm enthusiastic and I say, tell me about your business. And my next question is, where'd you get that watch? And the next question, what's your size of your shoes? There is no connection because I'm not really showing interest, right? Because my questioning is not coordinated in the right way. So we lose that connection. So you're polite, you answer the questions. No, I'm not going to do anything. But even if that goes wrong, the moment we leave, I send you a message taking note of everything you've said, and I send it to you. You think, oh, he wasn't such an idiot, right? 99% of the time, most people don't deliver on their promise. They say, I'll send you a proposal tomorrow. They don't.
How do you align with the mind, with the opposite guy? Because he's just a stranger to you.
If I'm a salesperson,
completely as a sales only.
Listen to them. Just listen to them. Who do you want to talk about? Yourself, right? If somebody is not interested about themselves, their own company, then maybe you don't want them as a client. Okay, so you want this person to be, by your enthusiasm, they're enthusiastically telling you the story about their business, their pain, their successes, everything. They want to share it with you. Okay.
What if someone wants to rebuild his complete sales team? What are those points that he should evaluate right now? Saying that
do I have motivated salespeople? All of it comes to recruitment. Okay. Most people recruit from CVs. And CVs are all lies, including mine. So I'm not surprised if you hire somebody with experience, they come with bad habits or good habits. You don't understand that they don't like mornings, they're moody. Yeah, they're negative. So I've recruited a 7-step recruitment process before I even see their CVs.
And people can buy this?
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
Okay.
Dariush's 1 in 100 group interview or something like that.
So this is the 7-step recruitment process.
Indeed, yes.
Okay.
So for you to hire a motivated person, not a CV, because 85% of success is motivation, 10% habit, or 5% skill. Because if I have 85% motivation, you can teach me something. I'm willing to learn. But if I'm 85% skill, degrees of this and degrees of that and masters of this, but I'm a miserable sod, you don't want to work with me.
Do you think there's a lot of distraction nowadays to make sure that motivated remains always intact?
Actually, a lot of distraction is good. Because when I was young, before the internet, when you saw a wealthy person, it was through their PR. Yes, and you never really came across them. Now, I know what Kim Kardashian is doing. I know what Kanye West is doing, how they're living, or Elon Musk. So the distractions are good, but there's too much noise. So you have to clear the noise and pick up the good noise and ignore the BS.
I'll just take another 10 minutes. I know that you're running. Right?
Sure, I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I read this book also in one of the book called, I think, Drive by Paul Lawrence. And he mentions that people have drive. I mean, there are only people who are driven only when they want to acquire certain things, when they are fond of some relationships, or when they want to create a bond, or when they want to learn, or when they want to defend. Something like this, it's about the human mind. And I relate it more to the Apple phone. Like, when we buy the phone, you see, I want to have that phone. I am able to create a bond with it. I'm able to learn from it. And it gives me a feeling of defense that, that no hacker can come and hack the phone. So I mean, I've always felt that when I relate to your motivation, I relate to drive. That if I don't have that drive in me to acquire certain things or this mug, then maybe I will sooner or later fade.
I think we're just putting different words. Drive, desire, right? All I know is that when you buy something like an Apple phone, you want an Apple phone. You don't need an Apple phone. Okay? So as a salesperson, you have to build the desire and the want in your prospect. Not I need. Because if they need a consultant, they go for the cheapest one. But if they want to work for you, or they want you to work with them, they don't care how much they pay. You see? So the idea is to bring the emotions out in the prospect, not just I need. It's like you need a pair of shoes, but you don't go and buy the cheapest shoes, right? You buy the brand because you want that brand.
Correct.
I need shoes, but I want brand. Because so you're willing to pay 10 times, 20 times. Women pay 100 times more for a handbag.
Correct.
Right? Because they want that brand. But they need the bag. Sometimes they don't even need it. The want is so great. They have 100 bags.
Correct.
Right? So that's to do with the branding. What's the word
Do you
I'm
believe-
looking for? To build the desire and the want.
Do you believe, Dariush, people's behavior speaks bigger than their words?
Absolutely. Now, when you're dealing with an experienced business owner, prospect, when you sit in front of them, what are they thinking? They're thinking, he's a bullshitter. He's going to tell me what he wants to tell me just to sell me the products. He's not going to deliver anything. And when I bought his products, everything's going to go wrong. And I wonder if he's going to pick up my phone after he's got the sale. So your job is to make sure that all those worries are gone before he does business with you. Through your actions, not just words.
Guys, motivation is the most important aspect when it comes to building a sales team. If your sales guys are not motivated, then the template of Dariush Soudi will not at all work. Because 90% of his, if you see, his quality is about when you select a sales guy, he should be at least, he gives most points to his motivation. 90% of the points are given to motivation, 10% to skills, or maybe 10% to habits. But if he doesn't have the drive and motivation to go and build your company, let them go.
You don't want them to be too clever either, because if you have someone just like you, this is going to open your competition, right? They're going to. So you want somebody not to be as good as you, but they got to be smiley every day. So you look forward to seeing them. They're going to come on your door instead of saying, I don't know. They're going to say, how can I find out?
Yeah.
Right? You don't want somebody who knows everything. Okay. My sister works for me, and I was talking about how can I get advertising on Amazon. She phoned the world, and I said, why are you phoning the world? Because I don't know how to do adverts on Amazon. I said, but you have ChatGPT. You can ask Google. It's there. Just have the desire to find out. And within an hour, she was like, and she fought me. She's my sister. Don't bully me. Don't. I said, no, don't you tell me what to do, and don't doubt my management style.
Wow.
Find out. And then she was like, oh my God, I'm empowered now because I took your advice and I listened. Well, when people have change, they fight you. They don't like change.
Correct. I'll wind up this, and the last, maybe the last 3 to 4 questions I'll ask you on the last segment of the podcast is about the Gladiator movement that you started. You're the founder of the Gladiator Summit. This is not an event, it's a mega event. It's someone who once in a year looks to come. For me, I booked my ticket. The last year I visited your arena, which was in the Trade Center. And it actually blew me off for the members who come and who the speakers who come and give a different perspective about life and their growth. And somewhere I get charged. And this podcast channel, I think I started post that in 8 months. And today I have more than about 25,000 followers and across even YouTube, LinkedIn, everywhere.
Proud of you.
And I think this Gladiator Summit, why did you start this Gladiator movement? What gave you that drive? And what was missing that you felt that, I have to start this. If not now, then never. I need to start.
Yeah, for 5-6 years, I was doing regular sales and marketing trainings. 30 people at the time paying $2,000-$3,000 per ticket. So it's quite expensive. And it was a hard struggle because to convince people to come, and I worked from Saturdays and Sundays away from my kids, my family. It was exhausting. And then I just stopped. I thought, I'm rich now. I don't need to do this anymore. I stopped for about a year. But then people kept coming saying, when is your next event? I was like, I don't have any idea. At the same time, somebody said, you should go and speak on this guy's platform. So I turned up at his event and he basically blanked me out, ignored me. He was not interested. And I don't kiss ass. So I sat there at his event and I picked up like 20, 30 things that were wrong. You know, from the AV system, the sound was echoing. It was faulty. The distance between the audience and the actual speaker was too far. So many things. The lighting was wrong. The music wasn't inspirational. So I said to the people next to me, I said, I can do better than this. Because the best way to motivate me is by ignoring me. So I just went and booked Banny Entry and 900 people showed up.
My
I
God.
reduced the ticket price. 900 people showed up. Then they came and said, wow, that was amazing. I had the best time. And I got carried away and I went to book the World Trade Center. 2,500 people turned up.
Yeah.
And every one of my speakers paid me to be on stage. Imagine, we had booths around. Every one of those booths paid me between $10,000 to $15,000 to be there.
Wow.
I made quite a lot of money and the audience loved it. Why
One
people
is the
should-
money, but what difference does it bring
This time,
to the
around,
life of people?
10th of January, I don't know if this podcast is going to go out before then.
Yes.
I don't sell anything. Every speaker that I have speaks from the heart. They have a story to tell. From longevity to mindset to business, the billionaires there. I have Hollywood stars coming. So the noise has gone round. Everybody wants to be on the Gladiator Summit. This time round, I don't have any booths. All my speakers are speaking for free. They haven't paid me or they haven't paid them. It's just an honor to be part of this. So what happened was when I'm introduced around the world and people say, oh, he's an author or he's got 5 million followers or he was businessman of the year, nobody cares. But the moment they go Gladiator Summit, everybody knows it.
Correct.
Right? Everybody knows this Gladiator Summit. I go, do you know Dariush? Do you know Gladiator Summit? Yes, I know that. That's mine. Wow. So it was a way to be known. It's coincidentally. Now, those two people who sat next to me, they're both spoken on my stage.
Wow.
And the person who ignored me spoke on my stage.
Yeah.
Amazing, isn't it?
I want to read how different this event is for the audience to know. Compared to any other event, corporate event that happens.
Okay, I don't put the people, the audience, in a vulnerable place to sell them a course. Because often you go to these cheap courses and every hour, 10 people run to the back, buy my... I don't do any selling, so my audience loves it.
Yeah.
And if you remember, one person put a QR code and I came and apologized.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the lady put it...
Yeah,
my
correct.
And I took her off
Yeah,
and I
said,
apologized.
It's not allowed.
It's not allowed. Okay? So...
This happened on the second day.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So it's not allowed. So my audience can relax. Okay. But at the end of the day, there's so much love in the room that they don't want to go home. You notice people hang around and stay. I have 60 entertainers. The music. Did you cry? Did you get emotional?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, I put the audience through an emotional roller coaster. So they can cry, they can dance, they can laugh, they can smile, they can dance. It's amazing. And then at the end, they've had the best day of their lives.
Yeah, those 2 days were really beautiful when I came and really I enjoyed. One is that the experience part in your event is very different.
Yes.
It comes with music, it comes with live audience, and live performance happening, and it comes with a high level of motivation and energy. The whole audience is on his shoes sometimes.
Yes. Everyone.
Yeah.
And energy levels are huge. So I have to thank my MC Munir because I want to have a business event. Yes. He came and said, let's have some music. And I was like, no, it's not the Tony Robbins thing. And then I grew into it. And I thought, you know what? I like making music. So all the music is mixed by me. All the videos are mixed by my team. So there's nothing original. It's just everything's new and it's working.
Wow.
And it's working. And literally, we're going to take this worldwide. I have people flying from America, Australia, Canada,
Sure.
Germany. They all want to take this worldwide.
And this year, what is special?
This year, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to
Okay,
find
I'm not
out.
going to find it.
Instead of being 2 days, it's a lot for me.
Okay.
I did it one day.
Okay.
If you remember the 2 days, one day, first day we had 2,500, second day we had 600. I preferred the second day. And if you remember, I went into the crowd.
Correct. With your white
Everybody,
beads.
yeah, and everybody loved it. Everybody loved it.
Loved it, yeah.
They liked that. I couldn't have done this 2,500. So I like that intimacy. So it's going to be only 500 or 600 people.
Okay.
We already 60% sold out. All our VIPs have gone, or our general admission's gone. There's only all the royals have gone. General admission gone. We only have VIPs left.
Excellent. Last question I'll ask you is, what's your message to young entrepreneurs, to budding entrepreneurs that are coming here in this country to build companies, to build businesses, or who are right now even struggling to actually take the next step forward? They have actually gone and started their business, but somewhere they have got lost, or they are lacking motivation, or they are lacking confidence, belief, or they are burnt out financially. What's the message that you would like to give those audience?
Yeah, if they're burnt out financially, what's your excuse? You can only go forward, right?
Yeah.
So often when you find people who are just lacking motivation, they're too comfortable. Because it's easy to have motivation when you got everybody's wanting you to pay bills, right? That's your motivation, to pay bills. So most successful business owners, it's been a journey. A lot of young people want it tomorrow. They follow liars and influencers on Instagram, and they think they can make quick money tomorrow.
Correct.
But it's actually a marathon and not a sprint.
Correct.
So be in it for a long term. Enjoy the process. Every rejection is one step closer to success, but learn from it. And follow authentic people. Listen constantly to positivity. Be aware of who you're surrounding yourself with, because you're only as good as your peer group. If you can do those things, you will succeed.
Do you believe Dubai is the best place to do business?
Best place in the world.
In the best place.
Oh my God, I couldn't have done it without Dubai. I couldn't have done it with His grace, His Highness, and vision of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. If I see Sheikh Mohammed, I'll kiss his feet. I'll do anything for him, because without him creating this environment, this hub of entrepreneurship and honesty and safety and hygiene and infrastructure, my kids couldn't be who they are. I couldn't be who I am. And for eternity, I'm grateful.
I agree. I mean, this is one of the finest place to do business.
And you don't pay taxes.
And you don't pay taxes. You have best streets. And everything is the best here.
Even internet.
Yeah.
I go around the world. America, I don't get as much internet as I do here. I trade on crypto. I can't do that all over the world. Commerce is so beautiful and easy. And I'm not one for small talk. So if I meet you, I can't, what do you do summer? I'm not interested, right? But I can sit with someone in Dubai and say, how can we do business?
Once again, lastly, I have to say thank you to you. But
Well,
the last question is that, do you think that the AI space is going to change the business dynamics? And if someone wants to take that first mover's advantage, what are the immediate changes one should do as a fresh entrepreneur?
Learn, and don't look at just ChatGPT. AI is going to make everything simpler, faster, more knowledgeable. So take advantage of it. We're at the cusp of something like even bigger than when internet came. So be optimistic.
Guys, be optimistic is the last word with Dariush Soudi said, So I will wrap up this entire show right now, because he's a very busy guy and it's difficult to catch him. And for me, he just, I think, extended another 30 minutes. Thank you once again,
Thank
Dariush.
you for getting
I mean,
it.
really. And guys, just book your tickets on Gladiator Summit. It's on the site. The show is one of the best shows in Dubai. I mean, the event is a mega event. You'll find top speakers there. And if you want to make that change in your life, then believe me, this show will make it. This event is going to make that difference. Go book your tickets. Go reserve a space there, because going forward in January, on 10th of January, this event is hosted on Blue Waters, and you would not find the ticket again. And then you'll have to wait one full year for season 4. Therefore, go hurry up and see Dariush Soudi there. Thank you guys once again.